What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Distant and we are currently live on stream, and I'm going to show you guys my current Plunder Patrol deck profile with the new added support from Lightning Overdrive. They did release Black Eyes of the Plunder Patrol. I don't really know its name. Ravenwing is so much better. I'm just gonna call it Ravenwing, okay? I'm not gonna refer to it as Black Eyes. I like Ravenwing too much as a name. So they released Ravenwing in Lightning Overdrive, and it does give this deck a very nice power boost. So if you do want to see some gameplay of Plunder Patrol, you can check out my stream over at twitch.tv/distantcoder. I stream there almost every single day, and I've been playing a lot of Plunder Patrol lately, but I did want to show you guys the deck that I'm currently on for Plunder Patrol. I did sign up into a tournament yesterday, and I went 4-2 with a list that was very similar to this. Made a couple of changes based on that tournament and how I performed with it, but this is what I'm on right now, and I'm going to give you guys a quick showcase of the deck profile. So first of all, you're playing 3 of every single Plunder Patrol name. So you're playing 3 of the Whitebeard, 3 of the Redbeard, 3 of the Golden Hair. You're also playing 3 of the Bluebeard, and 3 of the Ravenwing, the new addition from Lightning Overdrive. For those of you that don't know what this new card does, it can special summon itself from the hand by targeting a Plunder Patrol in your graveyard, and then it'll add that monster from your grave to your hand and summon itself, locks you into Plunder Patrols, and then if it goes from the hand or monster zone to the graveyard, it targets a Plunder in your spell trap zone and special summons it. This gives you an additional body on board and gives you some recycling for your resources. So this card literally fixes a lot of the issues that this deck had. So honestly, this card is an insanely good new addition. You play 3, there's no reason to play any less. You want to see your Plunder Patrol engine because these cards are all what get you to your win conditions. Afterwards, I'm playing quite a lot of hand traps in this deck because I do think playing a lot of hand traps because your engine is so small is a good way to go. So I am playing triple Effect Veiler, triple Ash Blossom, and triple Skullmeister. I'm also opting to play triple Infinite Impermanence as my last hand trap, so I'm playing 12 hand traps in the lineup. These cards are all directed towards the meta. The Effect Veiler and the Impermanence are really, really good against the Tri-Brigade matchup, and the Tri-Brigade matchup is probably the hardest matchup you guys are going to face in this current meta, so I do think these hand traps are very, very good to play. Ash hits a lot of stuff, and Meister is also very, very good on top of giving you a Dark Attribute in the graveyard for Emblem, so these cards are all very, very good. You can swap these hand traps out for whatever you want. These can be trap cards if you want to play a more trap-heavy build. These are essentially your flex spots that you have, and you have quite a lot of them. Moving on with the Plunder Patrol spells, I'm playing 2 copies of the Emblem, I'm playing 1 copy of the Ship Shape Shipping, and I'm playing 3 copies of the Plunder Patrol Field Spell. Now, the reason why I'm on 2 Emblem and only 1 Ship Shape is because you don't really often want to use the effect of Ship Shape to fusion summon. Sometimes it does come up, but usually this is just going to be a discard. So more often than not, I find myself adding this off of a Moark when I have another effect that will discard a card from my hand, because this is pretty decent to discard off of your ships. So for that reason, the 1-of is pretty okay. I wouldn't play 2-2 just because I'm on Desires, and if you banish one of your emblems and you keep 2 Ship Shape, the second Ship Shape ends up being pretty dead. And 3 of the Field Spell, it just wrote us for anything in your archetype. Very, very solid card. Afterwards, I'm playing the 1 Terraforming to search out the field spell, and triple Pot of Desires for consistency. Pot of Desires, honestly, I think is really good in this deck. I've never, ever activated Desires and then regretted activating it. I think the 2 cards you're getting off of this are going to help you a lot more than the 10 cards that you're banishing. This card is really, really good for consistency of this deck. Pot of Desires, a must play in my opinion. And for the last 3 cards in the deck, I'm playing 3 copies of the Booty. I end up siding 1 out when I go second a lot of the time, because this is not a very good going second card, but going first, I find having 3 is very useful, especially once again because Tri-Brigade is a matchup that's pretty hard. They don't really summon attributes that help get you to a win condition. A lot of times they'll summon fires and earths only. So the Booty really allows you to get to like your Lys or your Moark in those matchups, so the Booty is really good if you play 3 of it. Moving off to the extra deck, I'm playing a pretty standard lineup in the extra deck, to be honest. For the Plunder Patrol monsters, I'm playing 3 of the Blackbeard, 2 of the Lys, 2 of the Bran. Here, let me put them over here. 2 of the Bran and 2 of the Moark. So you're basically playing 2 of every single one of the ships, and you're playing 3 of the Blackbeard. Honestly, Blackbeard is your main, your main starter card, your main, anytime you want to end on something, you want to end on the Blackbeard. It really is the card that gets you to the rest of the archetype. So Blackbeard, you have to play 3 of it. Honestly, sometimes you run out if you play 2. And the ships, 2 of each. Some people opt to play 3 of certain of them, but I never found myself lacking in ships. I didn't really feel like I was missing them. So I think playing 2 of every ship was really good, and 3 Blackbeard. It's pretty standard in my opinion. I thought it worked quite well. You're playing the one of Salamangreat Almirage as your other link monster. This is because it allows your golden hair to end up being a 1-card Blackbeard, because you summon the golden hair, link it to this, and then you special summon the golden hair back, link both of them to the Blackbeard. So the Almirage, very, very good card. Then for the generic synchros you're playing a Dragite and you're playing a White Aura Whale. So the Dragite is very good because you'll see in my side deck, I'm playing the Nibiru, so that effect can come up sometimes. But a lot of times, your opponent will have like a back row that's set that you know of, like a Revolt, for example. And you want to just synchro into something that immediately on summon will be able to stop that card. So having the option to go into a Dragite for a spell trap negate is, in my opinion, very, very useful. And the White Aura Whale is really good against decks that have no means of like banishing this card or like outing it without destroying it, because this card constantly comes back, can deal piercing over a lot of different monsters, so it does have a lot of applications, on top of being one of your best outs to a very strong Nibiru token that you might put on your opponent's side of the field. Because unfortunately, Mower can only banish effect monsters, so the fact that this can destroy any attack position monster is really good on summon. And last but not least, the 3 last slots in the extra deck, I'm opting to play Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome. This is quite easy to make on your turn 1, on top of being able to, a lot of times, make this with a Golden Hair, detach the Golden Hair, then summon it back, and link the Golden Hair with the Bahamut for a Blackbeard. So you can get these like 2-card combos with a discard that get you onto Toad with a Blackbeard, so it's very useful. And the last flex spot, some people opt to play Zeus. I was on Zeus for the tournament that I played, but I didn't think it was all that good. I'm opting to play Dweller instead, just because I feel like Dweller has a lot of applications against a lot of decks in the meta right now, so I do think that Dweller is probably one of your best options to play as your last slot in the extra deck. Now, off to the side deck. Honestly, the side deck, it's very geared towards the meta. You can opt to play whatever you want. Like your side deck, take it with a grain of salt. I'm going to show you guys what I think is correct for the side deck, but there is nothing that I feel is incorrect for a side deck. You can genuinely play pretty much anything as long as, you know, you gear it towards like your locals or something like that. So just take this as like a base to start with your side deck. So I'm playing 3 Joel and Lockbird and 3 Nibiru. I told you I like hand trap heavy, and I'm playing more in the side because the Joel is really good against stuff like Dragon Link and Drytron. And the Nibiru has multiple uses in this deck, but when you use Nibiru, you have to be very smart. You actually have to... You have to calculate what the stats of the token are going to be before you use the effect. Like in most decks, you can just use the Nibiru and then out it with Engine, because a lot of decks have outs to the like a straight up token. But unfortunately in Plunder, it's a lot harder to out the token than in most other decks. So you do have to make sure that the stats of the token you're putting on your opponent's side of the board aren't going to be problematic to you or make it hard for you to out. What is cool is that you do put a light on your opponent's field, so you can make the list using the Blackbeard if you do Nibiru your opponent. So for that reason, I think Nibiru is a really cool card. Afterwards, I'm playing 3 copies of Radian, the multi-dimensional kaiju. It's a dark because Mowerk is arguably one of the better extra deck monsters you want to be summoning out from your extra deck with the effect of Blackbeard and such. So this is good removal against stuff like Dragoon, because his deck does have a difficult time playing against Dragoon. So it outs stuff like Dragoon, outs stuff like different towers monsters or just boss monsters, maybe an Apollosa, something like that. And then on top of that, it gives a good attribute on your opponent's side of the field to summon one of your better ships. So for that reason, the Mowerk is a very, very solid addition to the side deck. Afterwards, I play the one of Pankratops. I did have one flex spot. I didn't play this for the tournament, but I do think Pankratops for going second is a really useful card. Afterwards, I opted to play 3 copies of Twin Twister and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Back row removal is pretty good. You don't really mind the discard cost for Twin Twister, because a lot of the times your Plunder Patrol monsters will do something relevant if you discard them off the Twin. So you can play Cosmic Cyclone if you do not like the discard cost, but I didn't feel like the discard cost was too steep. So I thought playing 3 Twin was pretty fair for this tournament, and I thought it was pretty good, honestly. And the last card, I am playing a copy of Raigeki. A lot of times people will play around Lightning Storm, put their monsters in defense, and kind of play into a Raigeki. So for that reason, I feel like Raigeki is a pretty good card. There are a couple of other cards that I was considering, so that's basically it for my side deck. But if you guys do want to consider some different cards to either side or main, some really solid options that you guys can play in your deck is something like Forbidden Droplet. Again, if you don't think the discard cost is too steep, it's pretty good for like discarding a Whitebeard and getting a summon. So Forbidden Droplet is a really good card. Otherwise, Dark Ruler No More, if you don't want to opt for Forbidden Droplet, is also a really good card if you play in a tournament that you expect to be very combo heavy. So anyways, guys, that was my deck profile for Plunder Patrol. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys enjoy the new cards. Honestly, these cards are really cool. Raven Wing is such a good addition to the deck, and I'm really happy that Konami did design a card that fixes a lot of the deck's issues. So I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and I hope you guys have fun playing this deck at your locals or on DB and such. But anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Peace out. Bye.